Yeah, when I started working in the space of sustainability, and especially with the focus on life cycle assessment, it was about studies and projects. So we did a study on comparing a new version of a product with the predecessor, with the former version of the product. Or a company comes to us and wants to understand, we have a cool new recycling technology for a certain material. Does that also have environmental benefits? And can we start to communicate with that? So we had projects that companies wanted to understand the environmental impact, and if a new development was so much better that it was worth to communicate the result externally. And that was for many, many years the typical LCA project. So when we sold Umberto, people were working like that with that, did a lot of packaging LCAs, comparing packagings for food, for different topics. And our solutions were used in that, and we were helping with that as a company. And if I look today, sustainability is no longer a niche and no longer nice to have. So you're not typically selecting only one or two products which are your green stars. We want to assess the environmental impact assessment of that and then communicate about that. Since we are looking into the topic of product carbon footprint. Product carbon footprint was not there in the very beginning. In the very beginning, you had life cycle assessment, and life cycle assessment is not only analyzing one impact category, it's analyzing several. And then when you compare, you can say, okay, for the climate change, one product is better, but maybe for the acidification, which is more water-oriented impact, another product is better. Since everybody or many organizations nowadays have climate reduction goals, you can say there's a most favorite impact category now, and that's the climate change impact category. And that has been rephrased already starting from 2006 into product carbon footprint. And so for product carbon footprint, you're analyzing the greenhouse gas impact, so the global warming potential of a product. That's only one impact category. And as this is now the impact category number one, and organizations are establishing goals for themselves on how to reach net zero or carbon neutrality by a certain time in the future, 2030, 2040, 2045, 2050. As we are in European Union, typically latest, if you have a climate impact reduction goal, you need to have as the final date to be neutral or net zero by 2050. And that has created a demand of not calculating selected products' carbon footprint, but to do that for all. And if you think that an LCA as a study is quite an effort, you need to rethink on how you do that if you want to do that for all of your products. And that is the main change from niche to selected assessments into fully scalable and fully automated assessments, be it lifecycle assessment or product carbon footprinting.